Hello dear student. So hope dear student you all are doing well. Today we are going to discuss about 3rd June newspaper analysis. So dear student, I am trying to bring this newspaper before 9 a.m. in the morning, but it will take some time, so please cooperate and gradually I'll try to bring it before the 9 a.m. So first we are going to see about Ukraine and Russia hold direct talk in the Turkey. Okay, so this war between Russia and going on for long, so they are trying to find all the means and way to find a peaceful solution. So first step is they release the prisoner of war and exchange of bodies of 6,000 soldier planned. Okay, so but recently there is a attack by each other, so because of that there is a there is a question marks on this peace talk. Okay, so this is all about, nothing much you need to read. So next is we need to know about amid rain havoc 3 soldiers killed in Sikkim landslide. So we need to know about that. So dear student, you know that in India there are 3 regions that is very prone to the landslide. So one is northeast, the next one is this our North India. So North India is quite prone to the landslide, and our Western Ghat. These 3 regions are quite prone to the landslide. So by reading all these things you will have a understanding which region is prone to the flood, which region is prone to the landslide, so that you can write very good answer in your mains. So 5.15 lakh hit by the Assam flood and 20,000 people affected in Manipur. Official in Shikipur say that 1,600 tourists have been evacuated from the different regions. So while 115 remain stranded in the Lachen. Okay, so not much needed apart from this. Okay, that is what we need to just know. No need to go in depth. And dear student, so you can join our daily answer writing program. So it is a very flexible program. Either you can write 2 questions per day, or 10 question in a week, or you can write 20 question or full length test in a 14 days. So either you can write question of our question, or you can write question of your choice. Any institute you can write the question and we'll evaluate and get it back to you. So all our evaluator, they are already interview appeared or selected candidates, so you'll get highly qualified and quality evaluation at just 6,500. Okay, so please don't take very fast decision and you can join that. So India report 4 more COVID death and active cases nearing 4,000. So it is very important because recently the COVID cases is rising very fast, so we need to be prepared for that. So that is the reason you need to just read this much only. So next center notify guideline to boost electric car production. So recently central government given notifications to boost the manufacturing of electric cars. So guideline to promote domestic manufacturing of electric cars, significantly lowering import duty for foreign manufacturer, which pledge to invest in domestic electric vehicle production. Okay, so car maker will be permitted to import up to 8,000 electric vehicle at a reduced duty rate of 15% compared to current rate of 70 to 80%. current rate क्या है, जितना उसका प्राइस होगा 70 to 80% एज ए import duty, but we are reducing it to 15% for first 8,000 car, but provided that they must invest 4,150 crore in local EV manufacturing. They will have required to begin operation within 3 years of receiving approval, must meet specified local content requirement. Let's say there is a car, this is a car manufacturer, they have to procure some component from India. Okay, so that local employment is generated in India. The detailed guideline for this scheme to promote manufacturing of electric passenger car in India comes in 15 months after the government announced its import policy. The scheme allow EV manufacturer to import completely built of car with a minimum insurance. Cost of the freight is $35,000 at a reduced custom duty of 15% for 5 years from date of application approval. The maximum number of electric 4-wheeler allowed to be imported at reduced duty will be 8,000 unit. Okay, so next dear student, this is just a news you need to know that Pahalgam terror attack cast shadow on the Kheer Bhavani festival turnout. First batch of the Kashmir Pandit devotee from the across country had dipped to 2,500 from compared to 4,500. The state politician urged the devotee to visit last number. Actually, why this terrorist attack happened in the Pahalgam region? Their basic aim is to disrupt and create a communal divide, reduce the tourism activity, because after removal of the Article 370 from the Jammu and Kashmir, and there is a surge in the tourism activity and development of the Kashmir region, but terrorists don't want that, because when there is a violence, some sort of disturbances that facilitate their agenda, they'll get lot of fund from the Pakistan or international agencies. So because of that, they just want to disturb this peace, so that their agenda will be promoted. So it is seen that their agenda is going to success, because after this attack, people are now in fear, so they don't go to the Kashmir. And when Kashmir people are not have proper employment job, and there is a unemployment, so that can be easily exploited by this the terrorist, and promote the anti-India sentiments. And dear student, to get this PDF, you can simply scan this QR code and join our application. And in application there is a section called Infographics and Current Affair. You can just download that, you'll get it. So next is most resident of the Pakistan Tola in Bihar. The village name is an embarrassment. So there is a village in Bihar, name is Pakistan Tola. So there is a village in Bihar, name is Pakistan Tola. So problem, what is the problem is that first we need to know why this village is called Pakistan Tola. The elderly in the village say that during the partition 1947, most of the Muslim who live here shifted to what was then called East Pakistan, means Bangladesh. Later the Santhal tribe come from the forest and occupy the village. As a result, the almost empty its inhabitant and left for the Pakistan. The name, because of that, this village is occupied by people, they shifted to East Pakistan, Bangladesh, and this position is occupied by the tribals. So because of this inhabitants shifted to Pakistan, this village is called Pakistan Tola. So villagers are agitating more than ever for names to be changed, Birsa Nagar, on the name of Birsa Munda, the famous legend Birsa Munda, who challenged the operation of different kind. This movement have been ranging for several years. People are trying for several years, but they are not getting any result. But when there is any name that is associated with Pakistan, people always discriminate, because we have lot of hatred for the Pakistan. So burning stigma. So due to name of this village, people hesitate to get their daughter and son married to the people of Pakistan Tola. Even before the Pahalgam terrorist attack, several marriage proposal has been cancelled, and no family wanted to associate with this Pakistan Tola. Just imagine after Pahalgam what kind of discrimination people are suffering in there. So including low, even whatever they are produced, they are also getting low price as compared to the other region. So then what kind of solution is, like, what is the solution in that case? So the issue may be more appropriately addressed through the administrative and public policy mechanism, such as Gram Sabha resolution followed by state level gazette notifications to rename the village, say Ravi Kumar Singh, a Supreme Court advocate. So this method can be used to change the name of the village to keep it as a Birsa village. So next, recently there is a severe incident happened where one ship is sunken in the coast of Kerala. So NGT asked farm to give detail of the cargo in the sunken vessel. We need to know what kind of cargo, what kind of hazardous material it is, so that we can take remedial measure. Dear student, your homework is read detail about NGT, National Green Tribunal, like under which act it is established, what are the jurisdiction of NGT, how many benches are there in the NGT and their location, and what are the limitation under which act give power to the NGT, and what are the power, like whether the NGT power is applicable in case of Wildlife Protection Act, Environmental Protection Act or not. So you need to know detail about that. So you can just Google it and note down, as I have already told you multiple occasions. So if you follow the task that I am going to give, 4 to 5 tasks daily, it is my guarantee that you will able to solve 15 to 20 question daily. So that means 30 to 40 question. Even if that 30 to 40 question, if you are able to get, let's say conservative estimate 25 marks, which is more than enough to gain extra marks, na? So don't miss whatever I am saying. Please do it very seriously. After watching this video, I will give you daily 4 to 5 tasks. Simply read that task and complete that within 15 minutes. Time limit is very important. One task 5 minutes. One task 5 minutes, and note down important points. So National Green Tribunal has stated that the ship owner expected to clarify the container of hazardous cargo 13 out of the 640. So pointing out that there is a chances of serious impact on environment and coastal environment, affecting biodiversity, water quality of areas shrunken ship was carrying hazardous material such as calcium carbide, which is called exothermic. Once it mixes with water, it will create heat. Once the calcium carbide is mixed with water, it will create heat, so which is very dangerous. Then next is oil and other undisclosed item. So incident violate the provision of Biodiversity Act. in 2022. ठीक है. So water pollution act, water prevention and control of pollution act 1974 and environmental protection act. So here one more homework is biodiversity act, BDA, biodiversity act 2002. You need to study detail about biodiversity act, including there is an authority called NBA, National Biodiversity Authority, then SSB, State Biodiversity Board, then next is BMC. This structure is like a pyramid structure. You need to study about that detailed provision of the biodiversity act. ठीक है. This is your homework. ठीक है. And already I have given you homework of INCOIS. You need to study about INCOIS. ठीक है, Indian National Center for Ocean Information. So next is, this is a very, you can say, transform judgment, like a very good judgment. So transgender couple to be named as parents in their child birth record. Let's say two transgender person and there is a child. So in that child, earlier what used to be, you can write either father and mother's name. This person is mother and this person is father. But now in case of transgender, they can be named as parents and parents. So no need to disclose the gender, so that this facilitate this transgender for registration as a parent. So Kerala High Court on Monday directed the Kozhikode corporations to issue birth certificate for children born to the state first transgender parent, terming them as a parent instead of father and mother in their certificate. So this is what all you need to know. You need to know that this is a progressive judgment, and that is recognize right of the transgender to have children, and they should be the guardian of the children. Dear student, you can join our prelims test series. So it is given a very nominal fees, only 500 rupees. So these are prepared by all those who have cleared UPSC interview multiple number of times, and those who have also cleared the OPSC interview. So you can get it very nominal fees and get very high quality. So you'll get lot of question. I think you'll get around 3,000 question in just 500 rupees. So you can simply scan this QR code to join this program. So next is government. So government aiming to turn state into 3 trillion economy by 2047. This is what said by Telangana CM. So why we need to study this? We need to study this. There is a competitive trend. There is a competitive trend among the states to achieve their economic growth. This is what called competitive federalism. If every state is competing with one another, ultimately it is benefit for us, because every state will ensure that they will grow. Ultimately our India grow, our Bharat grow, so that our economy will be very powerful by 2047. So it's a good thing. So if you are able to remember the data, it's very well and good. You can put that data in your examination, or if you are from the Telangana, you need to remember all these things. So Telangana Rising 2047 policy document has been drafted to position state as a global leader by time India mark 100 year of independence. He urged public to support his endeavor. Contribution significantly to national goal of 30 trillion economy. So our plan is to be a 30 trillion economy by 2047, turning Telangana into a 3 trillion economy. 10% of India will coming from Telangana, which is very good news. Okay? And developing Hyderabad. We know that Hyderabad is a hub. We need to develop further. Apart from that, no need to read anything, no need to spend too much of time. Always remember, whatever you are reading, always try to understand where we are going to use that. If you are not able to find where I am going to use that, there is no point of reading that. So that is what I am saying, because I have seen so many newspaper they are giving, but without giving their application. Then in that case, you are not able to understand why we are reading this. So next, the phytoplankton overfeed iron, deplete the ocean nutrient faster. So देखो, phytoplankton, they are float on the ocean floor and water bodies. So when there is a iron, so there is a rapid growth of the phytoplankton. When there is a rapid growth of phytoplankton, they simply absorb all the nutrient of the soil, making this water poor. So a new study have unearthed the strong observation evidence that industrial pollution is altering nutrient cycle and ecosystem boundary in the ocean. The iron released due to human activity enhance the spring plankton bloom as well as speed up the rate at which nutrients are consumed. ठीक है. So iron released by the human activity speed up the rate at which nutrient are consumed. ठीक है. Like we are doing mining also. We are doing mining, and we are also constructing some pillar within the ocean. So because of that, there is a erosion. Because of the corrosion. So iron are adding into the ocean water. So the greater access to the iron enhance the growth of plankton, which consume more nitrate nitrate is responsible for nitrate and phosphorus is responsible for the plankton growth. So dear student, there is a term, on the surface of ocean, the microscopic algae, they completely grow and become green, and they cut off the light and oxygen to penetrate deep inside the ocean. So name of this process, what you call this process? Just comment in the comment box. So over past 25 years, increasing anthropologic iron input appear to have stimulated springtime plankton growth, ultimately leading to the faster depletion of nitrates. ठीक है? So thus the large scale iron pollution may be increase the prevalence of nitrogen limitation, expanding size of ocean pore, nutrient pore part of the ocean. So retreat of an ecosystem boundary can have severe ecological and economic consequences. Let's say if an area is rich in terms of nitrogen, but now because of this activity there is a shortage of nitrate, so that might cause death of certain organism. So let's see something about plankton. Planktons are base of marine food chain. They are like grass of ocean, and so change in their distribution will affect the zooplankton, that is the fish, larger predator like seabird and whales, species that cannot mitigate or adapt fast enough to decline or go extinct. ठीक है dear student, our daily mentorship is going on in our application, so you can join our UPSC and state PCS free mentorship. So all our faculty, those who have given multiple UPSC mains, forest service mains and UPSC interview also, state PCS interview also, you can join by scanning this QR code. So let's see next topic is team from the CCBM find clue to Darwin abominable mystery. So last 450 million years, as plant move to drier land, their life cycle change significantly, but something curious happened 130 million year ago. After the flowering plant first half year, soil suggested fossils suggested these plant diversify rapidly in terms of anatomy and habitat and emerging this puzzle. So let's see detail. There might be some point that is helpful for your examination. Life on the earth depends on the plant. Yes, definitely we need all food, they are deriving from the plants, directly or indirectly. Even the meat we are eating, they are derived from the plant also. The microscopic aquatic plant algae make most of the oxygen of the planet. Yes, we breathe is also from plant. The land plants are primary producer of human and animal food. That is why important to understand how they grow and produce. So 450 million years ago, as plants slowly evolved from the freshwater algae, move from the aquatic ecosystem to the moisture land to drier land, their life cycle also changed significantly. पहले कहाँ थे ये सब माइक्रोस्कोपिक algae थे, धीरे धीरे from the ocean water, fresh water to ocean water, from that they are moving land and deep inside the land. But something curious happened about 130 million years ago, soon after flowering plant appear. So जब flowering plant happen हुआ, उसके बाद जो development हुआ very rapidly हुआ. So fossil from that period suggested that flowering plant diversify rapidly in terms of their anatomy and habitat. Evolution is understood to be gradual process and rapid emerged divergence. Flowering plant thus been a puzzle by the Charles Darwin famous theory of evolution called as a abominable mystery. ठीक है, so just that much is important. Then next is understanding that why we need to study that. Understanding that is very much essential for our food security. So if evolutionary success among the plant was examined, the flowering plant to be the top scorer. The seed in the form of cereal, pulses and oilseed are bigger source of food for all animal on the earth. They also contribute to the $1 billion global food industry. ठीक है, so because of this flowering plant, today we are having all this grain and life is possible on the earth. And again, our earth is facing certain challenges like climate change poses significant threat to this ecosystem today and imperil food security. Higher temperature affect the plant growth and production by introducing metabolic change in the pollen and causing male sterility. So the mechanism that ensure plant can survive increasingly harsh environment. Scientists are even today exploring the gene responsible for plant physical sturdiness, immunity and tolerance to the salinity and drought. So by understanding that, we can improve all these things. Okay. So this is all about last page. So next move to the Badminton Association of India. This is what called BAI suggest sanction bigger financial incentive to boost the game, like the prize money they increase the amount. And the Badminton Association of India का president कौन है? हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा. So you can see the keeping in tune with the fast growth of the sports across the country, the Badminton Association of India sanctioned the bigger financial incentive to boost the participation of the people. So enhance the prize money for national champion to 75 lakh to 1 crore. ठीक है. So like that they increase the prize money so that that provide an incentive for people to pursue the badminton. BI also offer prize money for national championship as grant to the host. So we are also providing grant to the state associations so that there is more people pursue this activity of sports. So next, dear student, you can join our Sunday podcast and Saturday podcast, and you can directly ask me all your doubt regarding of preparation, and you can join that by scanning this QR code. You can join our Telegram group. There all our mentor and interview your faculty, so you can ask them whatsoever may be your doubt. Okay, we'll try to solve them. So first victory for Gukesh in a classical game against the world number 1 Carlsen. Okay, so just read it out so you'll understand. I don't think I need to explain that. It is a very simple thing. So next, dear student, our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program is also going on. You can join that. You will get a proper directed throughout your preparation, so that you will not waste 2 to 3 years in the misguided manner. Okay, and the price is very nominal. We are not charging huge amount as compared to other. You can join that and explore and make sure that your success is very fast. So faced with a new threat, UK moving to war fighting readiness, said by Stammer. London will build 12 attack submarine as part of AUKUS alliance. It will be spent 15 billion on nuclear warhead and 1 billion on digital capability with a new cyber EM command to undertake improvement in housing for military. Okay? So faced with a new threat, notably from the Russia, the UK is moving to war fighting readiness, the Prime Minister of UK said. Okay? The outcome of the review, the UK would build 12 submarine attack on the part of the AUKUS, Australia, UK and USA. AUKUS. ठीक है. So AU means Australia, AU. So A means Australia, UK means UK, USA. So it is a part of 3-country alliance to build the advanced submarine. So dear student, your homework is study about AUKUS, AUKUS. So AUKUS. So read detail about what is the provision of AUKUS, member of the AUKUS, what are the benefits, challenges, how it is positively impact India, how it is negatively how it's going to impact India negatively. So whatever task I am giving, please note down, and you have to practice for 30 minutes after completion of this video, so you'll get lot of insights. Okay? So Stammer, citing the Russian aggression, said that threat faced by the UK has reached new level since end of the World War. So US President Donald Trump has called the NATO ally to spend 5% of their GDP. So recently, after Donald Trump coming into power, there is a people among the world, they don't trust the Donald Trump because of his activity and behavior, and Donald Trump called that all NATO members, they have to invest 5% of GDP. So because of that, there is a rupture between NATO, like European members and the USA, because Donald Trump accused that European member, they are not contributing significant to the military budget. We will innovate and accelerate innovations on the wartime peace. He suggested that the post-Cold War peace dividend, which was reflected in higher welfare spending from the available fund, would now be defense dividend derived from creating new job in the defense sector. So there can be a good statement, you can say defense dividend. That means by production of defense equipment, it will create a new sort of employment, and that employment helpful in economic development. Earlier you can say peace dividend, that means during peace time more money is spent on the health, education, nutrition, so that is what going to pay back as a dividend. Okay? So Russia Ukraine swap peace roadmap at the Istanbul talk. So we have already seen that Russia and Ukraine on the Monday swapped the plan for ending their 3-year war during talk the Istanbul, aiming to find a way out of the Europe's largest conflict since the Second World War. But still there is a attack going on, so there is no conclusive talk or conclusive reached about ending this war. So next, Australia Australia gift naval patrol boat to the strategically important Maldives. So Maldives is our neighbor. So Australia gifting a patrol vessel. So Australia Defence Minister announced that gifting of a naval patrol boat to the Maldives to maintain regional security during a visit to the strategically located Indian Ocean archipelago. Australia is part of the Quad grouping. So dear student, write in the comment box Quad grouping, other member of the Quad grouping. Australia is one member, no doubt. What are name the other member of this grouping, and this seen as a bluster against China growing presence in the wider Indian Ocean. So why Australia is giving this patrol vessel? So that it can contain or keep an eye on the Chinese activity in the Indian Ocean region. So next, Iran poised to dismiss the US nuclear proposal, say Tehran deployment. So Iran is set to reject the US proposal to end the decade-old nuclear dispute, and Iranian diplomats are dismissing it as a non-starter that failed to address Iran's interest or soften the US stance. Iran is drafting a negative response because recently after Donald Trump coming into power, so there is a negotiation going on between the Iran and USA to lift the economic sanction that is US imposed on the Iran you can say in return to that, Iran will have to limit its nuclear program only for civilian. It cannot use this enrichment facility and centrifuge to develop a nuclear weapon. So next is China deployed 2 aircraft carrier group and dozen ships Taiwan. China deployed 2 aircraft group and dozens of ships northern and south of Taiwan last month, a Taiwan security official said. Beijing keeps up pressure on the self-ruled island. Up to 17 Chinese ships including Navy vessels monitor the LOC and South China Sea. So dear student, you need to map LOC. This is your homework and I have already told you how you are going to map the LOC. Simply open your Google Earth. This is Google Earth. Just open it and search LOC. So my internet is not working, so because of severe flooding here, so you can just search LOC, you will find the location. So next article will see implement revised local sourcing norm for wind turbine swiftly. India is planning to have 50 gigawatt of power from renewable energy. To have such a large amount of investment, we need to ensure that all the equipment they are manufactured, they should be manufactured in India. We should not import too much of equipment from outside. So an Indian plan to have 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel energy capacity by 2030. Wind energy is expected to contribute a fifth means 20% of that is going to contribute by the wind energy. Okay? So policy reform we need, and cyber security, indigenous R&D were crucial for success of the wind energy sector in India. So the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy recently reviewed the RRMM guideline and mandating local sourcing of the critical component like blade, gearbox, generator and tower. So they should be procured from India only, so that will promote our own manufacturing sector. The revised guideline, we are also strengthening cyber security norm. We also need to strengthen our cyber security. Let's say this is a wind farm. It is connected to the grid. If there is a cyber security attack to this wind farm, so that might impact our grid, larger grid. So that might got blackout of our grid also. It is a strategic shift, but over a year late, the guideline must now be implemented swiftly and without any dilution. So stating India wind manufacturing ecosystem was more than ready. He said that 20 gigawatt of turbine manufacturing capability, but only 20% utilized. Our blade capacity is 28 gigawatt, but including 11 gigawatt from independent manufacturer. So generator capability is 70 gigawatt, yet underutilized. So new policy, if enforced, can restore the local content up to 75%. That means up to 75% of content we can source from the India only, and it can be increased to 85% by 2028. So emphasizing gender of cyber security to the wind turbine and the grid. Wind turbine not just as machines, they are grid connected data exchange system. A single breach can ripple into national grid failure. Just I have explained how. So next is center call for proposal to set up de-addiction center in Gap district. So there are so many districts that is affected by the drug people are affected by this drug. So we need to have a de-addiction center where we will rehabilitate the people. So union government has invited proposal to set up a district de-addiction center in 291 Gap district identified by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So remember that MOSJE, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, deals with the drug addict. कौन करता है इसको? ड्रग एडिक्ट को कौन डील करता है? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट. देयर कैन बी गुड क्वेश्चन इन योर प्रीलिम्स. So, across 30 state and union territory in the country as part of National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction. So, you need to remember that National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction. Gap district have been identified as those that currently no centrally sponsored infrastructure to treat rehabilitate people who are dealing with substance or drug abuse. So, government National Action Plan provide for ministry support integrated rehabilitation center for addict, that is called community based led initiative. देखो, whenever community based initiative we taken, so local people understand the problem they face, they are very responsible, they are very sensitive to the local people, and they will support those who are addicted to rehabilitate there. That will be last, that will be ensure that successful de-addiction of our people. So health facility not fully prepared for diabetes hypertension care. So our health care system is just like the at the bottom it is called PHC, primary health care, CHC, community health center, and at the top level it is district and district and state top institutions. So primary health center are better prepared for diabetes and hypertension care than sub center or community health center and sub district hospital. A study undertaken by the Indian Council of Research ICMR told. So experts have now been commanding ensure that availability of adequate human resources, uninterrupted supply of essential medicine, and program manager of all public health facility ensure that full utilization of healthcare service for diabetes and hypertension. So diagnostic service were less available in district hospital, indicating secondary higher level public health facility were not fully prepared to manage the complication of these two. देखो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया it's like pyramid. So any higher, any severe issue we need to move upward, but district and community they are not prepared to handle anything. So in case of emergency, high chances of people will not get treatment proper. So effective to strengthen this diagnostic service are essential for continuum of care, as there will be no referral patient from the peripheral public health facility to the district hospital. So we need to strengthen equipment, medicine, diagnostic capability, staffs, and availability of the guidelines and overall readiness score calculated by the World Health Organization. Chalo. So dear student, next is the border tension and inflation drag the PMI, Purchaser Manager Index, to 3-year-old low. So the recent India-Pakistan conflict coupled with increased competition and higher inflation weigh down growth in the manufacturing sector according to survey of private sector company. ठीक है. So the HSBC India Manufacturing Purchaser Manager Index come at a 3-month low of 57.6, although this was higher than the long-term average of 54.1. So if there is a reading more than 50 of Purchaser Manager Index, it is denoting that our economy is expanding. If the Purchaser Manager Index value is less than 50, that is clearly denoting that we are contradicting. ठीक है. So good produce increase their input buying and employee headcount, but the cost of inflation is jumped to a 6-month high. So as a result, the selling prices were raised to one of the greatest extent seen about 11.5 years added. ठीक है. So the input cost inflation is picking off, and manufacturer seems to be able to lessen the pressure on the profit margin by raising output prices. ठीक है. Not much important, but if you can understand, it's well and good. ठीक है. So next is UK is with India in effort to combat terrorism. So our parliament delegation visited to different country, and in that UK government says that UK is with India in the fighting against terrorism. But these Western country, we cannot trust them. They are like dual. Can they say something, but tacitly they support the Pakistan. Actually, Western countries they are not able to tolerate the rise of India, because still they have the colonial mindset. Okay. So next we are going to see India to get a remaining S400 by Russia in 2026. So Russia is committed to deliver remaining unit of S400 by the 2026. Okay. Highlighting the terms of very recent India-Pakistan conflict. So S400 missile system they worked very well. Okay. So that is the reason it's a point of cheer between India and Russia. Next we will see India and Paraguay strengthen the trade tie. So India and Paraguay can strengthen their trade tie. This is said by our Prime Minister. So India and Paraguay can partner in expanding regional commerce in Latin America. Prime Minister of Narendra Modi on Monday. Modi welcomed the Paraguay president. Okay, so Mercosur bloc in Latin America, an area where India Paraguay can work close together. So Paraguay is a member of Mercosur. Mercosur is a Latin American economic trade grouping. In that the Paraguay can act as a facilitator for trade relation between India and Paraguay. Okay, so the Pena, who is the president of Paraguay, described India as a key strategic partner in his country. We see new opportunity for cooperation in areas such as digital technology, critical minerals, energy, agriculture, health, defense, railway, space, and overall strategic partnership. We have a preferential trade agreement with Mercosur. So India is having a preferential trade agreement with Mercosur. We can work together to further expand it, the Modi in his remark at the bilateral meeting between two delegations. So visit Paraguay president have come against the backdrop of churn in the global commerce after Donald Trump became president. So there is rising insecurity among the nations. So they want a stable partner, and India relation with Paraguay date back to the 1961 when bilateral diplomatic was established. India opened its embassy in the Paraguay capital Asuncion. Okay? So you need to remember Paraguay capital is Asuncion in October 2020. So Mercosur, the trade bloc including Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay. So 4 countries are there. So you need to study some detail about Mercosur. So 4 countries are there. So they are Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay. So we can say ABPU. कौन है उसका मेंबर? एक्रोनिम ABPU. ठीक है. So and is formed in 1991. A framework agreement was signed between India and Mercosur in 2003. This agreement was followed by Mercosur India preferential trade agreement. That means some item India will give preference to the Mercosur country and Mercosur country give preference to the India. So we are looking for strategic partnerships, and India will have with a vast population and global leadership in technology innovation represent a key strategic partner for Paraguay, because Donald Trump create lot of uncertainty. So Paraguay has the potential to be a reliable regional partner to India as it follow cautious foreign policy without antagonizing with major regional and global stakeholder. For India, a special attraction is natural resources and minerals of Paraguay. So Paraguay is a mineral rich country. We can utilize that for our economic growth. So UK minister discussed border security measure with India officials. Okay. So while UK Parliament is discussing a bill on immigration and border security enforcing tighter visa norms, okay, this is what said by the minister. So faster verification and return of the Indian immigrant detained in UK for illegal stay or entry or action against the criminal gang. So recently there is a anti-immigrant sentiment is going on the Europe, particularly UK, and because of that they detain some of the Indian people who are staying there illegal. They want to send them back to the India. So 2,471 Indian crossed the English Channel to arrive in small boat. So dear student, you need to map the English Channel will connect between which two state. This is your homework. Map that and comment in the comment box the English Channel connect between which two country. Okay dear student. So next, Home Secretary meet Manipur government, visit the relief camp. Okay. So Union Home Secretary he meet the security review chaired by the governor Ajay Balaji. So of visit come amid the fresh protest and civil disobedience called by the Meitei group in the northeastern state over the incident in the Gualtabi on when security forces try to hide, when security forces allegedly try to cover the word Manipur on a state transport bus that was ferrying journalists to Hill district of Ukhrul for Shiroi Lily festival. The protests were put on hold as Impal and nearby area have been havoc by the flood. Because of the severe flood, so protest has been declining there. So here it is, I have given the country location. You can see it is Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil and Argentina. So these four countries established the Mercosur. So Mercosur is a trading bloc. Mercosur is a trading bloc in South American region comprising of Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. This is model in the line of European Union, the fourth largest trading integrated market for after European Union and NAFTA and ASEAN. So you can read about the detail about Mercosur. Okay, whenever you are seeing, you need to go through like that. So Maoist surrender in the Sukma, explosive siege in the Odisha. Okay, so two isolated incident. You can say recent time we are seeing so many breakthrough happening and so many Maoists they are surrendering. So 16 Maoists including 6 members of carrying a collective reward of 25 lakhs have been surrender in the Sukma district of Chhattisgarh. So another incident, the security forces in Odisha have traced over the 2.5 tons of explosive looted by the Maoist from a quarry in the Sundargarh district of the state recently. The explosive along with moist uniform and other material were seized during the combing operation in the Gandhamardhan Hill Range, Balangir, Bargarh district. So dear student, those who are from Odisha, you need to remember this Gandhamardhan Hill. Why this Gandhamardhan Hill is famous for? What kind of unique feature Gandhamardhan Hill can be provide to all of you? Search was conducted jointly for a special operating group. Those who are from Odisha, please comment on the comment box the contribution of the special operating group towards fighting the Naxalism in Odisha. A security force raised to combat the left-wing extremism in Odisha. So CRPF of Jharkhand, Jaguars and district voluntary forces. So how this incident happened, how Naxal are able to loot a bus with gelatin sticks. A van carrying 200 packets of explosive reached the Banco stone quarry in Sundargarh. While the explosive were being unloaded, a group of armed men reached there and threatened the driver, took the van into nearby forest and made away with all the explosive, Odisha police said. So fearing that the stolen explosive could be used for subversive activity, Director General of Police Sundargarh district, a team of NIA with joint operation, they are able to recover everything. Okay. So next is huge opportunity for investment in aviation sector. This is what said by our Prime Minister. So India is fast growing aviation sector offer a significant investment opportunity with country becoming integral part of the supply chain. Okay. So recently we are proposing to enact a law, Bharatiya Vayuyan Adhiniyam 2024, to replace the Aircraft Act of 1934. It's a colonial act aligned with aviation law with global best practices, ensure a streamlined regulatory framework, ease of compliance and simplified track structure, which present a significant investment opportunity for major international aviation company. India should view India should be viewed not merely aviation market but as a value chain leader. Okay, as it became an integral part of the global aviation supply chain from designer to the deliver. Okay, so PM urged aviation company not only embrace make in India but also design in India. So establishing MRO facility. MRO means maintenance and repair and overhaul. So India goal is to establish 4 billion maintenance, repair and overhaul hub by 2030. Noting that 2014 there are 96 MRO facility which have increased to 154. There is a whooping growth of 64. Okay, it's not 64, I think around somewhere around now 60. So he said that 100% FDI is allowed in automatic route and GST reduction tax rationalization measure has given momentum to the MRO sector. So country C24, currently our 24 crore passenger are flying per year and is expected to 50 crore passenger fly by 2030. So India supports open sky agreement, global connectivity and advocate for more connected and accessible aviation market. So India support open sky policy. Any country want to have flight, they don't need permission prior, so they can fly first and they'll get the permissions. So how Japan's चलिए, I think today video will be little bit of long, but I will try to explain everything so that you'll understand better. It is not about the time, it is about how we are understanding. So how Japan new AI Act foster an innovation fast ecosystem. Japan model rests on the two key assumptions. First, that innovation ecosystem thrive better in absence of rigid regulatory burden. Second, that the voluntary cooperation can effectively mitigate risk associated with misuse of AI. देखो, all over the world we are seeing the regulation to regulate the AI. Different kind of states or country, they are providing regulatory excessive regulation. So because of that hamper the innovation. Second, that restrict the growth of the AI also. But Japan follow in a collaborative and cooperative model, so that it will not hamper the innovation, and it is also able to mitigate the risk. Okay, so you can read that, you'll find in depth detail. So okay, detail is given, so you can read that. So what would be French nuclear umbrella mean for Europe? So recently French said that they'll provide a nuclear deterrence. That means all the nuclear weapon of the France, they will be deployed all over the Europe, so that in case of any attack, so they can be counter attack. So they are basically fear of Russia. But problem is that whenever currently USA is also doing the same. USA nuclear weapon are distributed all over the NATO territory, but as per the National Proliferation Treaty, so there should not be any transfer of nuclear weapon to the non-nuclear state. But what USA does in this case is, though they station the nuclear weapon to different country like Turkey, Germans and Poland, but all they are under the control of US control. So that is going to helpful, and they are not transforming that to the non-nuclear state. So by they are able to subvert the NPT. So but recent French discussions to station this nuclear weapon need certain capability. For example, to have established different country, you need to have additional fighter jet, you need to have additional missile, you need to have more stockpile. But France is having only 290 nuclear warhead. Okay, and second thing is you need to have huge logistics also to deploy all over the Europe. So just read it, you'll find detail. Okay, so next is how president rule is imposed. So I think it is quite easy, I have already highlighted it, so there is nothing to explain. So whatever written in the box, just note it down, you'll understand better. So it is very simple thing, so you can read it out. So next is why net FDI inflow is plummeted. Dekho, recently our gross means total FDI that is coming to India, total FDI that is coming to India is high, but some FDI also coming from the India. That means our corporate, they are investing all over the world. So because of that, though our gross FDI is very high, but our net FDI is very less. ठीक है, so this is all about the article. देखो, बाहर से जो हमारा FDI आसूची, बाहर से जो FDI हमारा कंट्री पे आती है, though that is high, but some FDI also moving out from our country. So this difference between inbound and outbound is very less. So that is a cause of concern they discuss in this article. So this is talking about two important issues. So recently there is a civilization that is found on the Tamil Nadu, so it is called Kiladi. So in first instances, Archaeological Survey of India asked the the excavator to change the report in the Kiladi excavation. Because this article argue that if this Kiladi article, it is talking about there is a parallel timeline between the Aryan civilization and civilization found in the Kiladi. So it is talking about because of there is a parallel or declining significance of Aryan, so the Archaeological Survey of India want to rewrite or reconsider, so that significance of Aryan will be held. And second one is recently the gold monetization scheme, where it imposed a lot of restriction on the gold loan. So that might be very harmful to the people of South India, because large number of people of South India, they depends on the gold for the cheap loan. By having restrictive regulatory, so people might not have access to this loan. So in that case, they will fall prey to the the unauthorized lender, so who is going to exploit them the most. So next it is talking about strengthening India USA sea cable agenda. So there is internet is the new right of people. So we need to ensure connectivity, we need to have good sea cable. So there is a scheme, this is called Technology for Sustainable Open Unified Security Trust. It is called Trust, that is between India and USA. So a spiritual successor to the ISET, USA India initiative on critical and emerging technology. So we are having so much confident, but we need to build more on the internet cable, so that we'll able to control the influence of the China, and India to be emerge as a economic power, knowledge power, superpower. We need to be leader in the submarine cable. We need to be hub of the this connecting cables. So this is what it is talking about in this article. So next it is talking about monsoon ooze. So recently we have seen how the rainfall is doing havoc in the northeastern states. Okay, so the season why extreme heavy rainfall associated with damage and the hardware feature of the monsoon is that northeastern state with a year of scarcity. So because of monsoon, there is all over the India we are seeing heavy rainfall, and that is creating a lot of havoc and problem for the India. Even some of our armed forces are also died, unfortunately died in this incident. So misinformation a bigger threat than the COVID-19 optic. So we know that during COVID-19, so many migrants, they are walking barefoot because of this misinformation. So that is the reason misinformation is very dangerous than the real incident. So readiness, not panic. The COVID resurgence call for better preparedness. So we need to be ready rather than panic. Okay, dear student, I think we have already crossed 15 minutes, so I think we'll have to end our discussion here. So dear student, whatever may be your feedback, give me feedback in the comment box, and please complete all the tasks that I have given daily, so that I'm giving you guarantee you will score minimum 25 marks in your prelims extra as compared to other student. Okay, chaliye, bye bye, take care. Tomorrow we'll again discuss. Jai Hind, bye bye.